You can buy the most reliable looking car in the world and it'll still find a way to empty your wallet. This week we're looking at the hidden repairs that quietly destroy a used car budget, the stuff that doesn't make the advert but always finds your bank account. Now before anyone says it, yes, I seem to have a talent for picking cars that test my patience. But I don't always buy cars for reliability, I buy them because I like them. Some people collect trainers, I collect repair bills. And that's part of the fun. You learn what really costs money the hard way, and that's exactly why I make these videos, so you can enjoy your cars without the same surprises. If you find this kind of honest car talk useful, hit the like button, it helps the channel reach more drivers who actually care about the truth behind cheap motoring. It always starts with something simple. My BMW had a few small jobs, little leaks, sensors, rough running, and I thought, once I've sorted those, I'll sell it. But every fix made it nicer to drive, and every drive made me want to fix one more thing. Before long the cheap daily had turned into a part-time project. That's the first hidden cost: time, attention, and money slowly dripping away until you realize you could have moved on months ago. Modern engines love their timing chains and so-called lifetime belts until that lifetime ends. When they go, you're not talking hundreds, you're talking thousands. The trick is to check service history, oil quality, and any rattle on cold start. Mine gave no warning. By the time it finally failed, the car owed me more than it was worth. That's why prevention beats cure every single time. Once the BMW was running properly again, I finally sold my old Fiesta. It had just passed 100,000 miles and I didn't fancy gambling with the wet belt issue everyone talks about. The plan was to take a few weeks, shop around, and pick the next daily carefully. Then the same day the Fiesta drove off, the BMW dumped its coolant. So instead of taking my time, I ended up buying the Mini that weekend, way sooner than planned. That's the next hidden cost: timing. Cars don't care about your plans. A simple leak can turn into an emergency purchase overnight. That Fiesta story is a good example of smart timing. Ford's wet belt engines look cheap to run, but the replacement cost is huge, and most owners never budget for it. Even if the manual says 10 years or 150,000 miles, that's optimistic. If you're looking at any small turbo engine, find out whether it uses a wet belt or chain, and whether it's ever been changed. Ignoring it can turn a tidy hatchback into scrap metal. Clutch jobs used to be simple. Now, dual mass flywheels mean you can easily add 500 to 800 pounds on top of labor. Test for vibration at idle, or a heavy pedal, and if the clutch bites right at the top, start saving. These are the kind of jobs that don't just sting once, they decide whether a car's worth keeping at all. If you're new here, subscribe. Every week we break down real-world running costs, MOT checks, and buying traps that help you keep your car budget-friendly for longer. So what's the lesson from all this? Even when you plan well, cars have their own sense of humor. I sold one to dodge a repair, fixed another to make it reliable, and ended up buying a third sooner than expected. That's the real cost of ownership, not just the money, but the timing and the temptation to keep tinkering. If you want to know which budget cars actually stay cheap to own, that video's on screen now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.